All I wish with light skin girl, I'm in love with light skin girl. Never talk. All I wish with light skin girl, I'm in love with. All I wish with the avatar. Yes, I'll buy you a stove. Get the refrigerator. Don't care about your haters. Yes, I'm in love. And I don't give a damn if you don't ever care about. Why don't you leave me alone? I'm gonna ride and I'm going strong. I'm gonna go from channel to channel. I don't give a damn if you think it's a scandal. I love light skin girl. You make my world out. All I wish with is light skin girl. I'm in love with light skin girl. Never talk. All I wish with is light skin girl. I'm in love with. All I wish is with the avatar. Yes, I'll buy you a stove. Yes, a refrigerator. Don't care about your haters. I don't care how stupid I look. I have a phone and a wall that got me shut. I'm gonna travel across the Atlantic. They goddamn G.I. made it clear. I almost lost it to a game changer, but she turned them down. She wanna pick and play and sing my best with a light skin girl. I really love her, light skin girl. Never talk with a light skin girl. I really love her. All I'm is with the avatar. Yes, I'll buy you a stove. Yes, a refrigerator. Don't care about your haters. Check out your looking stupid. Got a nigga looking crazy. I really knew you was shady. Streaming content is lazy. When the bitch jump on the panel, it get too hot to handle. Superman come to the rescue. A nigga knows that it is true. Sipping hard. Oh my God, you bitch before me. I don't know right. Motherfucking fantastic fraud. Motherfucking fantastic fraud. Motherfucking fantastic fraud. Motherfucking fantastic fraud. All I wish with is light skin girl. I really love her, light skin girl. Never talk. All I wish with is light skin girl. I really love her. All I wish is with the avatar. Dark skin queen. Oh, yeah. Let's celebrate all the dark skin ladies, all my dark skin queens. Oh, yeah. Give me something like love, wisdom. Give me something like that, baby. Give me something like an angel. More like Kendra did. Give me something like faith, baby. Give me something like Idealist. Give me something like crystal. Let's learn about crystal. Give me something like why you bunny. More like concrete rolls. Give me something like Sister George. More like Dusty B. Give me something like Tasha K. Layla Lynn. Oh yeah. Give me something like Kim Gardner girls. Give me something like Rashida, baby. More like Rashida, baby. Give me something like Rashida, baby. More like Rashida, baby. Give me something like Rashida, baby. More like Rashida, baby. More like Rashida, baby. Rashida, baby. My dark skin queen. Oh, oh, oh.
Welcome, everybody. This is D. Durrell with the Conscious Clientele. I am definitely bringing back the Broke Brothers chat room from back in the day. We are in effect. We are going to have a great live stream today. We're going to have a discussion. We're going to talk about a lesson for the hobosexual, a lesson for the red pillar. I'm going to define those things and talk about the 6 of the psychosocial stages of development. I'm going to educate more in regards to psychology, in regards to a neo-Freudian by the name of ERIK Erikson, and how the stages of intimacy versus isolation applies to the hobosexual and a red pill specialist. Now, for those that don't know, and for those who do know, a hobosexual is basically a person who is dating just for the sake of dating, and dating for the fact to try to exploit and take advantage of another person. A hobosexual dates to get something from another person without giving anything, such as a hobosexual may date to live with you. Hobosexual may date just to eat, just like Lennon did the guy from Utah. He dated and had sex with and took advantage of a guy for the sake of eating, just for the sake of sex and meals. That's what homosexuals do. They go from one relationship to another relationship, unfulfilled and attempting to take advantage. So in these particular spaces, we are in full understanding that we have hobosexuals. Also, guys, hobosexuals can be people who don't have any goals, no direction in life, despite having a past of doing things, such as people who may have allegedly went to HBCUs in the state of North Carolina. But when you see them, you think they're no different from a homeless person in the streets of Skid Row. I mean, I've been to Skid Row in LA. And when I see a certain person, I see no difference. I see no difference. Hobosexuals put other men's name in their mouth all the time. Just like Lennon does with Umar. Puts his name, has this man's name in his mouth. And just like for me, There are certain people, smoke thugs, have my name in their mouth all the goddamn time. Like, when are they going to create real content? The best they can come up is video games, which to me is exemplary of what homosexuals like to do. Homosexuals love to play video games, sit on their ass, smoke dirt weed for 7, 8 to 10 hours, 12 hours a day, and talk shit. And homosexuals are known to attract other homosexuals. And they do so the same, whether they're male or female. You know, homosexuals also like the no-show invitations in which real classy individuals of worth invite them over to try to help them improve upon themselves. But homosexuals are known, guys. Homosexuals are known to just ghost. These are the type of people who ghost their first day on the job, if they can find a job. These are the type of people who ghost their own family members, dates. This is what they do. This is what they're doing. Shout out to Ms. Verla Hatcher for the $10 cash app. Appreciate that, Ms. Verla. Appreciate that a lot. Goes to the Janice house. Homosexuals are sitting here with absolutely no content unless they're watching other people to create content. Now, I'm going to kind of give you the psychological aspects of that. I'm just more giving you a social aspect as it applies to this space. Now, the red pillars are basically an incel group of people who believe in taking the red pill in regards to understanding the truth as they see it, as they realize the truth. And unfortunately, that truth is basically looking at female nature in a negative perspective. These are angry people who can't get a woman, who may have some type of, they may be physically challenged as far as in the looks department, the height department, the lack of proper communication skills, stinky beards, things like that. This is what these guys display. Some may have physical ailments and still talking shit. I'm trying to wonder, guys, homosexuals who are married, got physical ailments, and you still talking shit, and you look fucking sickly as fuck. You look like you can't even keep your eyes open when you're in the goddamn screen. I'm like, brother, you should be chilling at home, getting rest and following doctor's orders, not on YouTube. But this is what homosexuals are doing. Man, I'm giving you all the lessons. I'm giving you this lesson. I'm giving you all the lessons to help you improve upon yourself so that you may embark upon a better life. Okay? Yes. Thank you so much, Ms. Verla Hatcher. The Janice House will greatly appreciate that. The proceeds go towards daily living products that the clients may need and other things that they may want to obtain throughout the month. Okay? Appreciate that. Now, let's move further. Now, let me go ahead and talk about intimacy versus isolation. Okay, let me repeat. Intimacy versus isolation. This stage is part of what is it ranges from 18 to the age of 40. Okay, the most important things we're looking at is young adults in a period of time where they're motivated or encouraged to explore personal relationships and desires in the form of intimate relationships. And at this point in time, conflict may arise in whether them no longer wanting um, conflicts may occur as regards to them staying fast or staying within the confines of their own immediate family versus them exploring outside the family to have longer committed type relationships. Okay? We're looking at having happy, secure relationships. People are pursuing love, they're pursuing sexual relationships, they're pursuing the bond of another person. Okay? But there's a downside to that for those who fail. And this is what we deal with in red pill communities. This is what smoke game leads to. It leads to failure. Whether or not you can control the fact that you can't have those bonds, you don't have the intimacy, you're lonely, you're isolated, and it leads to depression. You also can have a poor sense of self, and you're less likely to commit, or someone feels that you're actually adequate enough to be attractive enough for them to even want to commit to you. Okay, so this is why when I chose this psycho stage of development, and there's multiple, there's an ERIKSON stages consist of 8 stages actually, but the 6th stage is where I want to focus on, because this 6th stage, which is intimacy versus isolation, and I'm also going to I could deal with generativity versus stagnation, but that's more for the red pillers. I don't want to go too much into that. I want to go to the 18 to 40-year-olds. Okay, these are people who are in just encompassing adulthood, and those who are approaching middle agehood. And see, you have to understand the pros and cons, the success and the failures. Okay, we have this sector, the Umar Johnson sector of YouTube, and the manosphere, red pill sectors. There's a great deal of failures. People who have failed. When you look at a Stargate, when you look at intimacy versus isolation, she failed. This a person that can go by that particular label of Stargate has resulted herself in giving happy endings to overcompensate the fact of failure. I'm saying failure. Because she can't keep a man. This is why I'm talking about this stage. When you can't keep a man, inability to obtain true love, inability to have stable relationships. So you take it upon yourself to produce satisfaction for others for the right price. For the right price, $150 a pop, $150 per hand job. Let me stop. But I'm talking about this because it applies to people who are inadequate, who's socially awkward, poor communication skills, high sense of naivety. Thus, it puts them into a position where they are being taken advantage of. Okay? Let's look at that. Inability to keep a man syndrome. Now, I want to understand, guys, and in all seriousness, when I look at the stages, see, I look at these stages from a perspective of how does it, even though this particular theory, which is it's because Erik Erikson is a neo-Freudian, meaning that he focused a lot in his psycho stages of development as it regards to the subconscious and so forth. These are psychosocial stages of development. Okay. Also, as a neo-Freudian, you think that people are innately bad, they're subconsciously bad, and they have to have ego, id, and super ego in balancing their moral compass. But again, this particular period ranges from 18 to 40 because it focuses on the transfer of one's value of their internal relationships with their extended or immediate family or people who are close knit in their family, and it begins to and it relates to, again, it is going to relate to how they're able to adjust and transfer that to becoming, and I'm gonna say this, in becoming an asset to others. Okay, you know, this is basically what it is, and to me, I have to, in a sense, help people understand how I understand human behavior and how I analyze, you know, pathology. Because if one is not stable and their thought process is fragmented from a perspective of not being able to effectively communicate, socialize, bond, love, give, share, empathize with others, it will lead to problematic consequences that lead you to being fanatical in the destruction of King Kong consciousness, Ifatunde Umar Johnson. You see, I'm trying to make a connection to help you understand. You see, I'm a clinician who is well versed in my field and theory. You see, this is how I connect. Whether you live in the ghetto, whether you live in upscale downtown area, I am trained to make this relevant to your situation. You see, that's what separates the intellect from the ignorant, from the ignorant. Okay? We have to understand that. This is why you see so many people, and most of them are in this stage of intimacy versus isolation, because not only did they fail at the fifth stage, they failed at the fifth stage, also the previous stage from 12 to 18, in which they could not have a proper identity versus role confusion. You see, we must understand the developmental process that leads a man to loving pussy, that leads a man to playing with Barbie dolls and Legos. You see, I can break this down and make it make sense in such a way. I choose not to do so because I don't want to intellectually embarrass people. Because I understand that some of these people have mental illness. Not only that part, because of the fact of being the fourth stage in industry versus inferiority. Then before that, initiatives versus guilt. This is Gerald Palmer. Autonomy versus shame and doubt. Trust versus mistrust. You see, Gerald Palmer was ineffectively influenced by all of the developmental early stages of the psychosocial stages of development, and that's why he is stuck. Yes, 12 through 18 is identity versus role confusion. It's a period of time in which a person begins to come within their own and understand where they fit in within other relationships with other people. As teenagers, you begin to also want to please other people, develop a sense of self. That's why you see a lot of teenagers try to do things to develop their own sense of uniqueness. They understand what it is becoming a male, a female, the roles that they have to take, how do they fit in, how people view them. You see, this is what we have to deal with. I can go into detail with all of those things. Initiative versus guilt. When you're looking at initiative versus guilt, that's ages 3 to 5. Those are the early stages. You see, this is the stage where I think Gerald Palmer, for some reason, or actually before that, but I want to say 3 and 5 because he was verbal at that time. Something went terribly wrong because Gerald likes to play with toys as if he's 3 and 5 years old. This is the pathology. This is the psychopathology. Now, Operation Exodus, I disagree with that. It's not a pseudo discipline, but on Saturday we will have a bout intellectually about that. Even the ancient and Kemetic science has an oval-shaped circle that talks about mentalism. I can go further than that, but that's another show itself. Have you ever heard of the mentalism and the symbol? It has origins in Kemetic science. It's an oval shape. Excuse me. So no, it's not a pseudoscience. Just like all sciences itself, they have their origins through the discovery of Egypt itself. Facts. 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 That's facts. No, I don't feel that mental illness is false. Mental illness is real. I've been dealing with mental illness and treating mental illness for over half my life. I've worked in mental health since the age of 21. And now I'm 43 years old. It's real. But see, I just took one stage, because this stage to me is paramount to why we see the people in this Umar sector acting in the ways that they're acting. These are hobosexuals. These are uncivilized, undriven people who have no ambition, no goals. The best idea that they can come up to do content when they're not bringing up my name is, do you have a Sega Genesis? Do you have an old school Nintendo? Do you have the PlayStation 5? Do you have the whatever the hell it is, the Microsoft games and so forth? The Xbox. This is the best you can come up with. And then you had to have one particular lady on there. Oh my God, every time she talked, I'm thinking she jogging, like she seemed like she fucking tired. Like she breathing so goddamn hard, like damn, it's like she can barely get a word out. She'll be and D Darrell, he ain't no good. And they low level. I'm like, shit, your fat ass need to go and lose some weight. Exactly. 12 to 18, you can get stuck in cults, gangs. You easily influenced by peer pressure. Okay? That what highlights that stage. And identity versus role confusion. You're exploring beliefs, goals, your values, your own personal identity. You're somewhat transitioning from childhood into being an adult. We start to consider what we want to do when we get older, whether it's career, family, friends, where you want to live, what type of life you want. This is an age where people with kids experiment with sex. Their body images and how they look become important. Your body is changing. All of these things contribute. You also look at how you physically look compared to other people around you. No, that's not true. That's a lie. Operation Exodus. According to psychiatry, 90% of the population suffers mental illness and is in need of drugs. That's a lie. Stop it. Stop lying. Stop it. Now that's pseudoscience. To change one identity and to contradict one's role confusion requires meditation to reprogram the mind. I do believe in meditation, and I would like to say this, Shakim Ra, that meditation and what we also call imagery is utilized in therapeutic interaction with the client to help them gain some level of emotional balance and calmness, and it is soothing because we do engage, particularly if one is depressed and anxious. We do encourage people to practice guided imagery, and we also practice meditation. All of these things are positive and can be used in the therapeutic process to encompass healing. Never had. Yes, industry versus inferiority. Okay. Now, when you're looking at industry versus inferiority, is actually like a younger stage, 5 to 12 years old. That's where you're really starting to learn things. You're becoming more aware of your environment. Your self-esteem growth is very important. You know, you're starting to really get an idea of what the world is becoming as you're trying to understand your feelings, completing tasks. You start to really learn what you're good at. What are you talented at? You know, but failures, they're inferior. In the industry act of it is when you're actually achieving and doing well in school, learning new skills. You're being praised by parents, but these guys they feel inferior. The negative aspects of it. You're failing. You're not progressing. That's why you have Gerald Palmer playing with Legos and female toys. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Operation Exodus. Do you have a psychology degree, Operation Exodus? He says a psychology degree is one of the easiest degrees to earn. Psychiatry isn't respected by the other disciplines, having no basis in fact. That is a lie. And what are you basing that on? What are you basing that on? That is not true. That is not true. That is not true. What you're saying is pseudoscience. Even the ancient Egyptians had mentalism. Can you explain that? Let's see. Shakim says, what do you think of antipsychotics versus meditation? Do they have the same goal, basically? Basically, I'm going to say that they don't have the same goal. I mean, that they're both, in a sense, they do, but then they don't. The antipsychotics are basically used for people who have psychosis, meaning that they have hallucinations or delusions and so forth that hinder their sense of reality, their sense of functioning. And the antipsychotics deal with minimizing or trying to distinguish those symptoms to the best of its ability. The meditation aspect of it helps a person more on a spiritual basis deal with the fact that they have these types of symptoms. It's not about using both of these strategies or methods independently, but they work better when they're used collectively. Okay? Forensics facility is different. I don't know what they did. I don't know what they were that's a whole different field. Okay? So you basing it on that isn't enough. Okay? What's up, We on Log Nation? He said that is patently false. People in my program dropped out and changed majors because it was hard as hell. Psychology, I'm gonna say this because I don't think that psychology, because I actually got the degree. It was not a very difficult degree to get because I actually excelled at a high level at it. Particularly the last year of that degree is very difficult because you're doing research and you're doing experimental psychology. And to do research and experiment, that's a whole year in itself. You have to do one semester of research and one semester of experimental. And those two experimental work and the research, you spend one whole semester accumulating research for your research project report. And then you spend another semester doing the experiment and then creating the findings. Okay? That's not easy. That's not easy. It's not easy at all. That is not easy. That shit is hard. That was some of the most difficult work that I ever had to do. And it was gruesome because we had to go around getting subjects and shit, collecting the data, making sure it's accurate. Those things too can be incorporated. There is a holistic approach to psychology that people can use. And what I like about the use of psychology and therapy is that you can utilize other forms of discipline and philosophy that fit the needs of the client. Okay? Psychology is not restrictive. It is not a restrictive discipline. Yes, exercise such as Tai Chi, Yi Kong, massage therapy, and how these affect the mind are responses to treatment. Exactly. And you know what, Shai Kimran? There's research to show the positives of using these different disciplines in therapy, particularly for those that have anxiety and depression. Okay, he said, if you failed being a psychologist, you're just weak. Psychiatrists use license to give drugs. Psychologists don't. The latter half of that sentence is correct. That's the difference between both. And I don't understand how you failed being a psychologist that's weak. I don't know what's up. What's up, Conscious Energy? What's up, brother? My boy, Conscious Energy, up in the house. Peace, love, and blessings as always. Now, Conscious Energy, I'm gonna tell you this, man. You know I love you, brother. We agree to disagree, but your girl, let me see a diet really shunned me yesterday, man. I was not saying anything negative to anybody. Now, I may have said some stuff. All I was basically saying when you left was I was taking up for Umar, which is what I usually do, and you already know how I am with that. And they blocked me three times for saying that they should listen to Umar. Umar tells the truth about this and that. They said stuff about the school, and I said some supportive statements in regards to Umar getting the contractors and things like that. And I was blocked. But see, we're not gonna treat you like that, man. You one of my boys, H-Town finest. You with the conscious clientele. We show respect. But I appreciate you for coming in, brother. Appreciate that. Matter of fact, Conscious Energy, we need to get together and start doing our Monday debate again. We need to get back to doing those debates on Monday. I would love to do that. Now, me and Conscious Energy, yeah, man, we have we agree to disagree, but we cordial, man. Man, that's my boy. Yeah, let me see your diabetes test. Basically, the lady that claims she gonna take me from my wife, she blocked me 3 times. But it's all good, man. It's all good. Anybody want to check out Conscious Energy website? Check out his platform. Go check it out. All you have to do is type in Conscious Energy. He actually talks about more things. You would definitely like to listen to the stuff that he talks about outside of Umar Johnson. He's not like some of these other people, like the Smoke Thugs and the Afro anti-fraud warriors that talk about Umar all the time. He actually talks about stuff like with stuff that's going on in the hip hop industry, music, things like that. Other things that go on in Black YouTube. He's not limited. He's not limited to talking about Umar all day, every day. My second wife. Yeah, but check out Conscious Energy, man. Check him out, man. He's cool. He's a cool brother. We just have to disagree on Umar. You know, I understand. It's all good. He's not the first. Let's be honest. He's no different from the disagreements I have with DJ Drama and Keep It Plain. They also feel the same. They also feel the same, but we good. I mean, we could have disagreements. I'm not against having disagreements. Unlike other people, you invite them to come to your platform. You invite them to make them look better. And they refuse to look better. Yeah, Conscious Energy should come on Saturday. Come and hang out with the conscious clientele. So, I'm looking at this, guys. I wanted to point out this for a reason. Is that what I'm trying to highlight and give rise to is the fact of there are levels of developmental issues that have led to these guys acting in this way. And it's intimacy versus isolation. And I'm saying this for a reason. This is why these people are so stuck. Yeah, brother, just like we used to do. The world's, come on, we Unlock Nation. I'll be talking about the world's dangerous women tonight. What the fuck? Okay, man. Yeah, brother, I'm going to send you that email. We're going to definitely do that. We're going to get back to the old stuff. Yes, that's basically what we're saying, psychospirituality. And keep in mind, Shakim, when we're trained to look at multicultural issues and aspects of relationships and people from other cultures, we encourage people to incorporate activities, positive activities in their treatment. Now, we're not imposing anything, but we encourage it. Okay? Like, I encourage people, if you love going to church and church is a positive experience for you, you can be sociable and things of that sort and interact and you feel spiritually grounded, why not continue to do it? It's not my job to discourage that. Okay. So I'm going to probably go ahead and wrap this up because I'm getting ready to leave. I got another session in about 30 minutes. And this has been a good talk. Very, very good talk. I wanted to focus on this so people can understand why D. Durrell, why are we dealing with such psychologically inept people? It's because when they were children, they were inept and they never got the help that they needed. So they become people who are older, psychologically inept. And that's just the truth. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you all, there's a stinky beard person that's going to hear this if he's not listening right now, and his minions go run over there and tell him. He's going to throw a lie. He's going to go pull up a lie. He's going to go create a lie for 20 hours. Complaining and saying this and that. Okay? But listen, I don't have to put your name in a title to get views. You need to do that. I don't need to do that. I'm good. I don't have to do that, brother. You have to do that. Appreciate that, None Squirrels on. He says, glad you're getting back to your life. Mental Health Roots, excellent live stream. Appreciate it. Appreciate that. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. Appreciate the donations to the Janice House. Y'all have a great day. Peace.